Like 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So I bought a very particular balsamic vinegar. Molto buono. If I could drive it, I would definitely take it. I mean, I can't pass by a Ferrari or Lamborghini when it's parked on the street or when I see them, and you actually see a lot of them in Emilia-Romagna. You leave the car and you find yourself in front of one of the most important monuments, with Valeria and I'm, which is an art gallery made up of a private collection of the Dukes of Este family, and the Biblioteca Estense, which is a medieval library with manuscripts dating back to the 14th century, 15th century, 16th century. Incredible! Let's go explore the city! I had to upgrade a little bit because it's a bit colder than I expected, to be honest. So now it's perfect time for breakfast, and as you can see, there are lots of people around having breakfast, going on with their days, and it's such a cute city, you know. I've been to Modena 2 times, this is the 3rd time that I'm here. I found this place during my first visit and I still love it, so this is gonna be the first time I'm having breakfast here. Guys, seriously, is there anything better than an Italian croissant in the morning with a cup of cappuccino? Especially when it's so cold as it is today. It's really weird because this May is incredibly cold. I don't remember in my 6 years of living in Italy spring as cold as this one. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad, but you know, having a warm cappuccino definitely helps. Now, after having had breakfast, I'm ready to show you all of the most interesting places in this city and tell you all the interesting stories and curious facts. This little bridge actually reminds me of the Bridge of Sighs in Venice. Do you think it looks almost the same? So this is the place I was looking for. This church, which is the Cathedral of Modena, Duomo di Modena, was built in 12th century. The building, the construction was finished in 1120s. This bas-relief here was built in the same time as the Duomo. And it's very peculiar because it depicts the story of King Arthur, the legend of King Arthur, and the episode when Guinevere was kidnapped. The fun thing is that the first written account of the legend of King Arthur dates back to 1135. However, this bas-relief was created way earlier. So just think of it. This bas-relief is probably the first ever account of the legend of King Arthur, and it is found in Italy. Now guys, I'm gonna show you a very interesting statue, basically on the facade of the house that local people of Modena are very fond of. It's right here. You might not notice this statue if you don't know its story. It's called La Bonissima, which means the great, the kind one. And it tells the story of a noble woman who, during a great famine in the medieval times, during the night left her house to distribute food and money among the poor ones. And the legend says that people of Modena were so grateful for her for saving so many lives that they ordered this statue to be put here in the center of the city in her memory. I think the error many tourists and travelers make is visiting only big Italian cities, because if I had to describe them, big Italian cities are the heart of Italy, of course, because life is bursting there, all the energy and resources are kept there, and most travelers visit those places like Venice or Rome or Florence or even Bologna. However, the smaller Italian cities are the soul of Italy, where you discover Italian culture, Italian mindset, Italian people as they truly are, and it's amazing. You have to spend some time in those smaller cities to actually understand them and to feel them. And if you make some research, if you explore a little bit, you'll find out that each small city in Italy has lots of stories to tell, has either a famous person being born there or a famous dish being created there. And it's fascinating, how every small place has its story. Every small place is very special and very particular, and it's so different from other places. Bologna and Modena are about 30 kilometers apart, and it feels like you're in a totally different place when you visit Modena. It's fantastic. I mean, you don't need to travel far away to feel like you're actually traveling, like you're traveling to a very different part of the country. I like it so much. So to visit the historical area of the Palazzo Comunale, you have to book in advance, but you can do it right there in the tourist office. It's really beautiful here. I mean, you can imagine the important meetings and decisions being taken here, the important meetings being held here, because it's very monumental, very, very interesting, very beautiful. This room feels very official, very ceremonial, I would even say. And I think there should be ceremonies taking place here. I can imagine the mayor of the city staying here, receiving guests or maybe having a conference, something like that. The whole area makes me think of French palaces for some reason, with the tapestries and painted ceilings and all the furniture. It happens in Italy too. You can see palaces like this. However, for some reason, it reminds me of French palaces. I don't know why. Also, there is a very particular smell. Of course, you can't smell it, but I'm gonna tell you. It's a weird thing. It doesn't actually make any sense, and it's a weird thing, but it smells like in the hospital for some reason. Okay, so this is the place where marriages take place. I don't know if it's still here that the registry office basically is located. However, it looks like it's here. This is so cool that people are working in such a beautiful place. I mean, work becomes almost as a special event. Guys, I totally recommend you this place. It's free of charge to visit it. You just have to book in advance right here in the tourist office. And it's a spectacular place. If you happen to be in Modena, go and visit it. So here is the Palazzo Ducale, the Duke's Palace, former Duke's Palace, which formerly belonged to Dukes of Este, the rulers of Modena. And it actually was a castle because it was in the outskirts of the city back then, it was their residence of the Duke's family from the 15th and to the 19th century. Then it was transformed into a palace as we know it today. And today it actually houses a part of the Italian Military Academy. It could be visited, but on very rare occasions, and you have to book it in advance, so unfortunately we won't be able to come inside today. However, it's really beautiful from the outside, so if you're in Modena you can just have a walk near and appreciate the facade's beauty. It's really beautiful.
River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, gone.
Look at these things, guys. Monopattini elettrici are super famous now in Italy. However, I have no idea how to drive them. But if you can drive them, you can actually rent them and have a tour of Modena, make a tour of Modena with this thing. And I think it's very, very nice. It should be very nice. If I could drive it, I would definitely take it.
I was hoping you would stay, but I've always known you would.
Balsamic vinegar flavored with raspberries. Can you see the trident behind me? Can you recognize the symbol? Modena is home to some of the most famous car brands in the world, these legendary brands of these legendary machines.